Hey guys, I've decided to split my out-of-box review of this kit into two parts, so this is going to be part one. We're going to be taking a look at the kit just like this as it is. It's mostly inner frame, and I just want to cover some of the bits about the articulation and just kind of my thoughts on the kit so far. The other thing that I want to say is that I should reintroduce the kit. This is the Perfect-Grade Astray red frame, but this is not the Bandai product. This is actually a bootleg. It's made by Daban, and so it's not actually a Gundam. They are calling it the Fighter Astray. So, I also should say right off the bat that I don't advocate buying of bootlegs. I've got my own reasons for why I bought this kit. One of them being just so that I can show it to you guys and I can give you sort of an informed information about this kit or just kind of bootlegs in general. And the other reason I wanted to try this kit is because I had heard that Daban is now using a new production method so that their kits will be practically Bandai quality. So I wanted to see what that's like and see if it actually is up to the standards that they claimed it would be. And so now that I'm well over halfway done with the kit. Actually, the frame, what you're looking at here, is actually the majority of the kit. I mean, of course there's the armor and the weapons, but I would say when it comes to just sheer time, I must be well over half. So, the kit so far, does it live up to Daban's claim of being practically Bandai quality? And from what I can tell so far, I would say yes, definitely. Of course, it's still never going to be 100% Bandai quality, but from everything that I've seen just building the kit so far, it's really close. I don't have a whole lot of experience with third-party kits. I don't have a whole lot of experience with bootleg kits. The only other bootleg kits that I've built were the Dragon Momoko Master Grade Tallgeese 1 and Tallgeese 3. But from what I know about bootleg kits is some of the major issues include the plastic quality, that is the softness of the plastic, the sharpness of the detail, and a lot of the mold quality, which also includes like there being a lot of flash on parts, there being sinkholes in parts from the mold making process. And so far with this kit, I haven't experienced any problems with any of those things. The plastic quality is very good, all of the molded details are very nice, there's very little flash on this. I think not any more flash than you would find on a normal Bandai kit. And I haven't really seen any mold defects. The only thing that I have noticed with this kit is that some of the parts fit almost too tightly. And that's because something, let me try to take apart here, or I could show you. Okay, what they've done, and I'm guessing this is on purpose, is if you can see this peg here, it has it looks kind of chalky there. I don't know if they intentionally left the mold on these pegs a little bit rough so that it makes this, or if that was made afterwards. Maybe someone who knows more about molding can actually tell me about that. But so it's very rough on the pegs, and what that does is that makes it, when you connect the pegs, that connection is really tight. And, you know, honestly, that's not a bad thing, because it's much better than being loose. That's another problem that a lot of third-party kits suffer from, or, I'm sorry, bootleg kits suffer from, is that a lot of parts and a lot of connections are very loose, and that causes a lot of problems, of course. But with this kit, it's quite the opposite problem. A lot of things are very tight, which is perfectly fine in my opinion. The only thing that I'm worried about with that is that when I have to take everything apart to go and paint the kit, I'm worried that I'm going to break some of the pegs. So some of the pegs I've been cutting so that they'll be easier to take apart. And honestly, you know, breaking pegs is not the worst thing in the world. You just put a little glue and they'll be okay. So yeah, let's take a closer look at the kit. Now here's a close-up on the head and chest area. As you can see, there's a lot of detail in there, with this being the inner frame and with it being a perfect grade. Of course, you'd expect a lot of mechanical detail inside, and this kit certainly has no shortness of that. Even under some of these bright red pieces, those are kind of armor, kind of inner frame parts. They're part of the red frame that makes the Astray what it is, but there is even more detail under there. I almost didn't want to put some of those parts on because I wanted to just show you guys the inner frame, and that's kind of like a outer inner frame, if that makes sense. But there is loads of detail everywhere on the kit. As you can see, the head, let me stop that, hang on, there you go. The head is very nice. The clear green pieces are very, very nice. Everything fits together very well. As you can tell, we're not really having any fitting issues there. I tried putting on the black foil sticker around the eyes just for the sake of showing you guys, but I think it's kind of hard to tell. There is also the LED unit in there, but I don't have a battery for that at the moment. When I show you guys the final, the second part of the review, I'll hopefully have the battery by that time, and I'll be able to show you guys what it looks like with the LED lit up. But there's the, oops, back of the head there. And after talking about how tight everything was in this kit, that's the first time I've had anything fall off this kit. It was this leg came disattached, but I think it was not fully pushed on all the way because I just kind of was putting the parts together loosely just now. But the other thing, here's one of the die-cast parts. If you saw in my unboxing, there was 3 die-cast metal parts. This is one here in the center, and then the other 2 are inside the knee joint inside there. So let's just push that back on. Yeah, it's very tight. So let's take a look at the articulation. We'll start at the bottom, start with the feet. Of course, it's going to go very far down like that. And as you can see, everything kind of shifts. I'll go over the articulation again once all the armor's on, so you can see how all the armor shifts, but now you can kind of see, you can get an idea of how things are going to move. Of course, the toes will move very far, all the way up, like that. Once you have the armor on there, of course, it's going to be a little bit more limited, but that's still very good. And overall, the heel can come up that far. Of course, there's going to be some nice movement side to side in 2 different joints, of course, in the foot and then in the bottom of the leg. And at the knee, a lot of parts moving here. As you can see, this part in the front is sliding down, exposing one of the chrome pieces there. And this part, of course, the knee, this part moves, but also the back part kind of folds back. So as you can see with that, very nice. Not a total 180 bend. It's more than 90, but it's as much as you're gonna need, honestly. So that moves like that. Of course, the leg comes up very far there because there's no skirt armor. Even when the skirt armor is on, the skirt armor is not very large on this kit. So a lot of movement there in the leg with those parts. Of course, it rotates here at the hip as well. And this hip joint here, the metal part that I pointed out, let me just go ahead and pull the leg off again to show you. You can move the arm. You can flip this piece down like that, and then rotate this metal part forward. Right, there we go. It's kind of hard to do with the legs on. You might be better off taking both the legs off to do that. You rotate that forward, move this back into place, that locks it there. And then the leg is in this forward position, which might help you in some poses where you want the leg to be far forward like that. So that's that. Let me go ahead and move that back. Oops, there we go. Yeah, it's easier if we just take this off. Oops. Well, now you might not be believing me how tight everything is, but there's apparently a few parts that might be a little bit loose, but I have a feeling that that's probably not any different from the Bandai version, because it's just due to short pegs, it looks like. Okay, now let's take a look at the upper body. Oh, I flipped off the V-fin. The V-fin is only connected by this very, very short, very small connection point. So, of course, unless that's glued, it's going to be very easy to just flip off the edge of there. The torso does not really seem to have a whole lot of forward and back movement, but there is some side to side. I haven't done this yet, so it's a lot of this articulation might be kind of tight because I haven't really tried it much yet. There's a little bit of side to side motion, and there's these pistons inside there, as you can see, more chrome parts. And in the shoulder, I guess I'll show you the cockpit as well. This whole part slides out like that, slides out and opens up, and there's the pilot inside. There's this this is like a monitor piece that flips up as well, and there's the pilot inside there. Flip the monitor back down, close that up, slide that back in. Now the shoulders, see, are gonna go up about that far before this part starts hitting the head, and down. They're gonna come forward about like that. Not a whole lot. They don't really. The shoulder joint doesn't really come out of the kit like a lot of even recent high grades have that. But that's about as far as you're gonna get for this. But you have, of course, very nice articulation there, rotation, and it goes up about that far, about 90 degrees. It's limited by this piece here on the top, that little bar. Of course, you got rotation here. You've also got some rotation here at the elbow, and then of course a double jointed elbow that comes up about like that. And then in the lower arm, there's two bending areas in the top of the lower arm here. It's subtle, but there's a little bit there. And then the part that holds the wrist should be bending a little bit as well. It's really, really slight on that one. And there is a chrome part that gets exposed when you do that, but it's really, oops, there, and I just pulled it off. Careful not to extend it too far. I think when you have all the armor on, that will be better. Anyway, alright, and as you can see with the upper arm here, when you bend it, let's see, in the biceps, that armor piece in the bicep moves. See here in the front and the back will move a little bit like that. That goes out and back up. So yeah, that's about it. And then of course the head is just can just move like a normal head. There's no chicken neck, so it doesn't, the lower part can't come forward at all, only at the one ball joint, so it is a bit limiting in that, but it does move around pretty well on there. About everything that you'd really need. So that's about it that I guess I can mention at this point. Of course, these parts here that hold the skirt armor can move up and down. The other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit for you guys is what I just wanted to correct some mistakes that I said in the unboxing, so hold on just a minute. Okay, so yeah, in my unboxing I made a couple of mistakes, I think, in maybe some of the information that I said, and now that I've done some more research about this, the history of this kit or the origin of this kit, I know a little bit more about it. I can tell you a bit more accurately now. Like I mentioned before, this is my first Astray kit that I've ever built in any grade, perfect grade, master grade, high grade, anything. so I don't really know a whole lot about the Astray in general. And this kit, like I said, I never really had an interest in buying it before now, and it was just kind of an impulse buy. So now that I know a bit more about it, I can tell you that the inner frame is recycled from the Perfect-Grade Strike Gundam. So there's going to be a few parts omitted and a few parts changed, but most of the dark red inner frame that you see there, most of the dark red inner frame that you see is copied from the Perfect-Grade Strike. That's something that I really, I would have been able to tell you in the unboxing video, because I would have noticed it on the runner, on, you know, this part of the runner. It would have said Perfect-Grade Strike, but because this is Daban, it just says Daban model. So I didn't notice that. But this is the frame of the Perfect-Grade Strike, and so that's where a lot of the parts are coming from, for what you see here anyway, for what's inside. Of course, everything outside is different. The other thing that is copied from the Strike is the shield is the same as the Strike Gundam's Perfect-Grade shield. The beam rifle is slightly different, so that is new. And then, of course, the other weapons, the swords and things, of course, are brand new. So that, I think, was about it. The other thing that I realized that I told you wrongly was these parts, which are a kind of foam material, and as you can see, try to pull them out, they're kind of, you can see there's small shapes cut out there, and they're printed like stickers, but it's like kind of foamy material. And in the unboxing I said that these go inside the sheath to hold the sword in place when it's in the sheath, but actually they go on the bottom of the feet. I haven't put them on there, of course, because I haven't painted it yet. Maybe after painting I'll probably maybe stick those on, or maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, those go on the bottom of the feet to give the kit a bit more traction, I guess, if you're having it in a pose like this, or something where you don't want those feet to slide or something. But I don't really see that being a problem. It's a pretty heavy kit. I think unless you've got it on like a slanted surface, it's not going anywhere. So I think that's it, guys. I'm gonna finish putting everything together. There's still quite a bit of work to do, I suppose, but it's going relatively quickly. Like I said, the quality of this kit seems very, very good, so there's really not a whole lot of extra cleanup to do other than just the normal nub cleaning. So everything's going relatively smoothly and quickly. Do I recommend this kit? No, I'm not going to recommend it, even in the final review. If you really, really can't afford the Bandai version, because I would definitely recommend the Bandai version of this kit. The only reason I would recommend this is if you're really, really hard up for money, or if you're a really, really huge fan of the Astray and really don't have the money to afford the Bandai version, then okay, yeah, I could understand getting this, but like I said, I really just wanted to show you guys, just to be able to let you make your own decision, as I believe you should. But it is what it is, and here's what it is. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.